More trouble for Boeing. A United Airlines flight landed safely in Oregon despite a panel falling off of the bottom side of the fuselage underneath the wing. Friday morning, that flight took off from San Francisco. Crews in Oregon discovered that the panel was missing. It still has not been found. At this time, it is unknown exactly how the panel fell off the plane. United releasing a statement about the recent safety incident, saying in part, our team is reviewing the details of each of these cases. There have been several to understand what happened and using those insights to inform our safety training and procedures across all employee groups. We empower our team to speak up, raise their hand if they see anything wrong. You can be confident every time a United plane pulls away from the gate, everyone on our team is working together to keep you safe on your trip. Meanwhile, there are 7 passengers who have filed a new lawsuit against Boeing, Spirit AeroSystems, and Alaska Airlines. This lawsuit stems from that door plug blowing out of an Alaska flight in early January. The lawsuit alleges negligence and disregard for safety protocols, as the bolts for securing the door plug were not properly installed. Some were even missing. We have contacted the 3 companies for a comment on the lawsuit. Boeing has declined to comment, and we're still waiting to hear back from the others. Joining us now, aviation attorney Timothy Laranger. He represents the passengers from that Alaska flight where the door plug blew out. Thank you for being with us, sir. Do you believe Boeing is being forthcoming in the investigation about this most recent Alaska flight that is the center of your lawsuit?
I believe that they have been forthcoming with admitting that they have not kept records that would show what kind of work was done on the aircraft and who did that work. They have admitted, I think, publicly that they've looked for information, they can't find it. Hopefully that they're being honest about that because that information would probably be kind of damning to them.
The most recent incidents prompted this litigation, but how far back do the legal concerns go around Boeing right now, do you believe?
Well, certainly since the MAX 8 crashes, that put a magnifying glass on Boeing and their procedures in developing aircraft, manufacturing aircraft. That since that time, what we're seeing are quite a few instances of failures in the manufacturing process, or what appear to be failures in the manufacturing process and the quality assurance process.
Your lawsuit doesn't just seek to hold Boeing responsible, but also Alaska and Spirit, as I mentioned. What are those air carriers' levels of accountability in all of this when it comes to safety?
Well, Spirit AeroSystems was involved in the lawsuit because they were involved in manufacturing the part of the aircraft that actually failed. Ultimately, Boeing is responsible for its aircraft from tail to the nose, and that's why they're involved. Alaska, of course, it's their aircraft. They are required to make sure that it is safe for flight, that it is in an airworthy condition, and so they have involvement in making sure that the aircraft is safe.
How about the FAA's role in all of this, Timothy? Do they carry and bear more of a burden as an oversight? And do you believe that that has been suffice to now?
What we learned in the MAX 8 crash is that the FAA delegated some of their authority to Boeing. And what we've learned since then is that that is a mistake, that it's important for FAA to have and continue to have oversight of how these aircraft are designed and manufactured. What we believe will happen in this is we'll find out whether or not FAA oversight is appropriate and at the right levels.
You know, I flew recently within the last week for some spring break travel, and it was the first time that I listened more keenly to the safety instructions. I kept my seatbelt on at all times, and it was tight, and I was looking for the exits and the door plugs after what has happened. I can't imagine the fear of being on one of those flights and having experienced it as your clients have. How are they doing, and are they able to fly after going through something that is highly traumatic?
Well, the experience has had a tremendous impact on them. The experience of being in an aircraft and seeing how vulnerable they are when the aircraft fails. And so, yes, this is something that's on their mind constantly. The idea of traveling is very concerning to them. Generally speaking, commercial aviation is very safe, but there are some issues that have to be looked into to ensure the safety of the flying public.
Right. And I could not agree with you more. I don't think when I get on a plane that it's going to go down or we're going to have major issues, and it is safe. But what ultimately are you hoping that a lawsuit like this accomplishes? What are your expectations?
The expectations are that we are going to find out where the failure occurred in this process of installing the door plug and other things, and that any problems with the process are going to be fixed. Once that happens, the flying public will be reassured that flying is safe.
A lawsuit like this, how long might something like this take to have an outcome?
It takes some time. So there's going to be a process of gathering information and exchanging information that could take a year. The whole process could take a year and a half to 2 years.
All right. Well, we'll be following it closely. We know it impacts us all. Timothy LaRanger, thanks for your time, sir.
Thanks for having me.